No more shall the thirsty entrance of this soil daub her lips with her own children's blood. No more shall trenching warfare channel her fields, nor bruise her flowerets with the armored hoofs of hostile paces. Those opposed eyes did lately meet, and intestine shock and furious close of civil butchery shall now, in mutual well-beseeming ranks, march all one way, no more opposed against acquaintance, kindred, and allies. The edge of war, like an ill-sheathed knife, no more shall harm her master. Now let me from you, my gentle cousin Westmoreland, what yesternight our council did decree in forwarding this expedience.
A post from Wales, laden with heavy news, whose worst was that the noble Mortimer, leading the men of Herefordshire to fight against the irregular and wild Glendower, was by the rude hands of that Welshman taken, 1,000 of his people butchered, on whose dead corpse there was such misuse, such beastly, shameless transformation by those Welsh women done, as may not be without much shame retold or spoken of. Now, more uneven and unwelcome news came from the north. Thus did it import. On Holyrood Day, the gallant Hotspur there, young Harry Percy, and the brave Archibald, that ever valiant and approved Scot, at Holmden met. There they did spend a sad and bloody hour. By discharge of their artillery and shape of likelihood the news was told, for he that brought them, in the very heat and pride of their contention, did take horse, uncertain of the issue any way.
Now here is a dear, a true industrious friend. Sir Walter Blunt new lighted from his horse and stained in the variation of each soil betwixt that Holmden and this seat of ours. And he has brought smooth and welcome news. The Earl of Douglas is discomfited. 10,000 bold Scots, 22 knights balked in their own blood did Sir Walter see on Holmden plains. Of prisoners, Hotspur has taken Mordache, Earl of Fife, eldest son to defeated Douglas, the Earl of Ethel, Murray, Angus, and Menteith. Is this not an honorable spoil, a gallant prize? Ha, cuz, is it not?
Faith, it is a conquest that a prince can boast of.
Yea, and there thou makest me sad, and makest me sin and envy, that Northumberland hath so blessed a son, one who was the very theme of honor's tongue, who in a grove the straightest planted. He is sweet fortune's minion and her pride, and looking on the praise of him, I see ride and dishonor stain the brow of my young Harry. Oh, that it could be proved that some night-tripping fairy had exchanged in cradle clothes our children as they lay, called mine Percy and his Plantagenet. Then would I have his Harry and he mine. But let him from my mind. What say you, cuz, of this young Percy's pride? The prisoners in this adventure he hath surprised, for his own use he keeps. And I have word I will have none but Mordache, Earl of Fife.
This is his uncle's teaching. This is Worcester, malevolent to you in all aspects, that made him prune himself and bristle up the crown of youth against your dignity.
But I will send to him to answer this. Cousin, on Wednesday next we will hold council at Windsor. Inform the lords and return to us with speed, for more is to be said and to be done than out of anger can be uttered.
I will, my liege.
Well, Hal, what is the time of day, lad?
Thou art so fat-witted with drinking of old sack and unbuttoning thee after supper and sleeping upon benches after noon, that thou hast forgotten to demand that truly which thou wouldst truly know. What a devil hast thou to do with the time of the day? I see no reason why thou should be so superfluous to demand the time of the day.
Indeed, thou comes near me now, Hal. For we that take purses do so by the moon and the 7 stars, and not by Phoebus, he that wandering knight so fair. And marry, sweet wag, when thou art king, God save thy grace, Majesty, I should say, for grace thou wilt have none.
What, none?
No, by my troth.
Well, how then? Come, round me, round me.
Marry then, sweet wag. when thou art king, let not us that are squires of the night's body be called thieves of the day's beauty. Let us be Diana's foresters, gentlemen of the shade, minions of the moon. And let men say that we be men of good government.
Thou sayest well.
Is not my hostess of the tavern a most sweet wench?
What pox have I to do with my hostess of the tavern?
Why, thou hast called her to a reckoning many a time and oft.
Did I ever tell thee to pay thy part?
No, I'll give thee thy due. Thou hast paid all there.
Yea, and elsewhere, so far as my coin would stretch, and where it would not, I have used my credit.
Yea, and so used it, that were it not apparent that thou art heir apparent. God. Thou hast damnable iteration on thee, and art indeed able to corrupt the saint. Thou hast done much harm upon me, Hal. God forgive thee for it. Before I knew thee, Hal, I knew nothing. And now am I, if a man should speak truly, little better than one of the wicked. I must give over this life, and I will give it over. By the Lord, and I do not, I am a villain. I'll be damned for never a king's son in Christendom.
Where shall we take a purse tomorrow, Jack?
Sounds, lad, where thou wilt, and I do not call me a villain and baffle me.
I see a good amendment of life in thee, from praying to purse-taking.
How? 'Tis my vocation. 'Tis no sin for a man to labor in his vocation. Poems. Oh, now shall we know if Pato have set a match. If men were to be saved by merit, what a hole in hell were hot enough for him.
Good morrow, Ned.
Good morrow, sweet Hal. What says Monsieur Remorse? What says Sir John Sack and Sugar? Jack, how agrees the devil in thee about thy soul, that thou soldst him on Good Friday last for a cup of Madeira and a cold capon's leg?
Oh, Sir John stands to his word. The devil shall have his bargain, for he was never yet a breaker of proverbs. Oh, he will give the devil his due.
But, my lads, tomorrow morning by 4 o'clock early, there are pilgrims going to Canterbury with rich offerings, and traders riding to London with fat purses. Pato lies tonight in Rochester. I have visitors for you all. I have bespoke supper tomorrow night in Eastcheap. We may do it as secure as sleep. If you'll go, I will stuff your purses full of crowns. If you'll not, tarry at home and be hanged.
Hear you, Yedward. If I tarry at home and go not, I'll hang you for going.
You will, Chops.
How? Wilt thou make one?
Who? I rob, I a thief, not I by my faith.
Here's neither honesty, manhood, nor good fellowship in thee, and thou camest not of the blood royal, if thou darest not stand for 10 shillings.
Well then, once in my days I'll be a madcap.
I'll be a traitor then when thou art king.
I care not.
Sir John, I prithee, leave the prince and me alone. I shall lay him down such reasons for this adventure that he shall go.
Well, God give thee the spirit of persuasion and him the ears of profiting. Farewell, you shall find me in Eastcheap.
Now, my good, sweet honey lord, ride with us tomorrow. I have a jest to execute that I cannot manage alone. Falstaff, Pato, and Bardolph shall rob those men that we have already waylaid. Yourself and I will not be there. And when they have the booty, if you and I do not rob them, cut this head off from my shoulders.
How shall we part with them in setting forth?
Why, we will set forth before or after them, and appoint them a place of meeting, wherein it is at our pleasure to fail, and then will they adventure upon the exploit themselves, which they shall have no sooner achieved, but we will set upon them.
Yea, but I doubt they will be too hard for us.
For two of them, I know them to be as true-bred cowards as ever turned back. And for the third, if he fight longer than he sees reason, all forswear arms. The virtue of this jest will be the incomprehensible lies that this same rogue will tell us when we meet at supper. How 30 at least he fought with. What words, what blows, what extremities he endured. And in the reproof of this was the jest.
I'll go with thee.
Farewell, my lord.
Now herein will I imitate the sun, who doth permit the base contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world. Then, when he please again to be himself, being wanted, he may be more wondered at by breaking through the foul and ugly mists of vapors that did seem to stranger him. So when this loose behavior I throw off, and pay the debt I never promised, by how much better than my word I am, by so much shall I falsify men's hopes, and like bright metal on a sullen ground, by reformation glittering o'er my faults shall show more goodly, and attract more eyes, than that which hath no foil to set it off. I'll so offend, to make offense a skill, redeeming time when men think least I will.
My blood hath been too cold and temperate, unapt to stir at these indignities, and thus you have found me, and accordingly you tread upon my patience. But be sure from henceforth I will rather be myself, mighty and to be feared, in my condition, which hath been smooth as oil, soft as young down, and lost that title of respect that the proud ne'er give but to the proud.
Our house, my sovereign liege, little deserves the scourge of greatness to be used on it. And that same greatness, too, which our own hands have hoped to make so portly.
My lord. Worcester, get thee gone. For I see danger and disobedience in thine eye. Oh, sir, thy presence is too bold and peremptory, and majesty might never yet endure the moody frontier of a servant brow. You have good leave to leave us. When we need your use or counsel, we will call for you. You were about to speak.
Yea, my good lord. Those prisoners in your highness' name demanded, which our Percy here at Holden took, were, as he says, not with such strength denied, as is delivered to your majesty. Neither envy, therefore, or misprision is guilty of this, and not my son.
My liege, I did deny no prisoners. But I remember when the fight was done, when I was dry with rage and extreme toil, breathless and faint, leaning upon my sword, came there a certain lord, neat and trimly dressed, fresh as a bridegroom, and his chin new wreaked. He was perfumed as a milliner. And as when soldiers bore dead bodies by, he called them untaught knaves, unmannerly, to bring such a slovenly, unhandsome course betwixt the wind and his nobility. With many holiday and lady terms, he questioned me. Amongst the rest, demanded my prisoners in your majesty's behalf. I then, all smarting with my wounds being cold, to be so pestered with a popinjay out of my grief and my impatience, I answered neglectingly. I know not what. He should or he should not, but he made me mad. To see him shine so brisk and smell so sweet and talk so like a waiting gentlewoman of guns and drums and wounds, God bless the mark. This bald, unjointed chat of his I answered indirectly, as I said, but I beseech you, let not his report come current for an accusation betwixt my love and your high majesty.
The circumstance considered, good my lord, whatever Lord Harry Percy then had said to such a person in such a place at such a time, with all the rest retold, may reasonably die and never rise to do him wrong, or anyway impeach what then he said, so he unsay it now.
But yet he doth deny the truth, but with proviso and exception, that we at our own cost shall ransom straight his brother-in-law, the foolish Mortimer, who on my soul hath wilfully betrayed the lives of the men he did lead to fight against the great magician Dan Glendower, whose daughter, as we hear, that Earl of March hath lately married. Shall we empty our coffers to redeem a traitor home? No. On the barren mountain let him starve, and let no man call himself my friend, whose tongue shall ask for but 1 penny cost to ransom home revolted Mortimer.
Revolted Mortimer. My liege, he never did fall off by the chance of war. To prove that true needs no more than 1 tongue for those wounds. Those mouthed wounds which valiantly he took when on gentle Severn's sedgy bank in single opposition, hand to hand, did confound the best part of an hour in changing hardiment with great Glendower. Let not him then be slandered with revolt.
Thou dost belie him, Percy, thou dost belie him. He never did encounter with Glendower. Art thou not ashamed? But, sirrah, henceforth, never let me hear you speak of Mortimer. Send us your prisoners by speediest means, or you shall hear from us in a manner that will displease you. My lord Northumberland, you have license to depart here with your son. Send us your prisoners, or you will hear of it.
And if the devil come and roar for them, I will not send them. I will have to straight and tell him so, for it will ease my heart, albeit I make a hazard of my head.
What? Drunk with choler? Stay and pause a while. Here comes your uncle.
Speak of Mortimer. Zounds! I will speak of him, and let my soul want mercy if I do not join with him. Nay, on his part, I will empty these veins and shed my dear blood drop by drop in the dust, but I will lift up the downtrodden Mortimer as high as this unthankful king, this ingrate, cankered Bolingbroke.
Brother, the king hath made your nephew mad.
Who struck this heat up after I was gone?
He will forsooth have all my prisoners. And when I urged the ransom once again of my wife's brother, oh then his cheek looked pale, and on my face he turned an eye of death, trembling even at the name of Mortimer.
I cannot blame him. Was he not proclaimed by Richard the deadiest, the next of blood?
He was. I heard the proclamation. And then when the unhappy king, whose wrongs in us God pardon, did set forth upon his Irish expedition, from hence he did return to be deposed and shortly murdered.
And for whose death we, in the world's wide mouth, live scandalized and foully spoken of.
But soft, I pray you, did King Richard then proclaim my brother Edmund Mortimer heir to the crown?
He did. Myself did hear it.
Well, nay then, I cannot blame his cousin king, who wished him on the barren mountain stark. But shall it be that you that set the crown on the head of this forgetful man, and for his sake wear the detested blot of murderous subornation? Shall it be that you a world of curses undergo? Shall it for shame be spoken of in these days and fill up chronicles in time to come, that men of your nobility and power did gauge them both in an unjust behalf, as both of you, God pardon it, have done, to put down Richard, that sweet and lovely rose, and plant this thorn, this canker, Bolingbroke? Shall it in further shame be spoken that you are now fooled, discarded, cast off by him for whom these shames you underwent? No, yet the time still serves wherein you may redeem your banished honors and put yourself into the good thoughts of the world again. Revenge the jeering and disdain contempt of this proud king who studies day and night to answer all the debts he owes to you, even with the bloody payment of your debts. Therefore, I say...
Peace, cousin. Say no more. I'll read you matter deep and dangerous, as full of peril and adventurous spirit as to all walk a current roaring loud on the unsteadfast footing of a spear.
If he fall in, good night, or sink or swim, send danger from the east to the west, so long as honor cross it from the north to the south, and let them grapple. The blood more stirs to rouse a lion than to starve a hare, huh?
Imagination of some
great exploit drives him beyond the bounds of patience.
He apprehends a world of figures here, but not the form of what he should attend. Good cousin, give me audience for a while.
I cry you mercy.
Those same noble Scots that are your prisoners,
I'll keep them all. No, he shall not have a Scot of them. Why, if a Scot would save his soul, he shall not. I'll keep them by this hand.
you start away and lend no ear unto my purposes. Those prisoners you shall keep.
Nay, I will. That's flat. He said he would not ransom Mortimer. Forbid my tongue to speak of Mortimer, but I will find him when he lies asleep, and in his ear I'll hollow, Mortimer. Nay, I shall have a starling, not to speak nothing but Mortimer, and giving him to keep his anger still in motion.
Hear you, cousin, a word.
All studies I solemnly defy, save how to pinch and gall this Bolingbroke, that same sword and buckler Prince of Wales.
Oh, farewell, kinsman. I'll talk to you when you are better tempered to attend.
What a wasp-stung and an impatient fool art thou to break into this woman's mood?
Why, I am whipped and scourged with rods, nettled and stung with red ants when I hear talk of this vile politician, Bolingbroke. In Richard's time. What do you call the place? A plague on it. 'Twas in Gloucestershire, where the madcap duke, his uncle, kept, where first I bowed my knee to this king of smiles, this Bolingbroke. It's when you and he came back from Ravensburg.
At Berkeley Castle.
You say true. Now what a candy deal of courtesy did that fawning greyhound then did proffer me. Oh, gentle Harry Percy, oh kind cousin of the devil, take such cozeners. God forgive me, good uncle, tell your tale, I am done.
Nay, if you have not, to it again. We will stay your leisure.
In faith, I have done.
Then, once more, to your Scottish prisoners. Deliver them up, without their ransom straight, and make the Douglas son your only mean for powers in Scotland, which for diverse reasons, which I shall send you written, be advised will easily be granted. You, my lord, your son, in Scotland being thus employed, shall secretly into the bosom creep of that same noble prelate well beloved, the Archbishop.
Of York, is it not?
True, who bears hard his brother's death at Bristol, the Lord Scroop. I speak not this in estimation as what I think might be, but what I know is ruminated, plotted, and set down, and only stays but to behold the face of that occasion that shall bring it on.
I smell it. On my life it will do well.
Before the game is afoot, thou still let it slip.
No, but it cannot choose but be a noble plot to join the powers of Douglas and Mortimer with Glendower, huh?
And so they shall.
It is exceedingly well aimed.
The king will always think him in our debt, and think we think ourselves unsatisfied, till he hath found a time to pay us home. And see already how he doth begin to make us strangers to his looks of love.
He does. He does. We'll be revenged on him.
Cousin, farewell. No further go in this. I by letters shall direct your course. When time is ripe, which will be suddenly, I'll steal to Glendower and Lord Mortimer, where you and Douglas and our powers at once, as I will fashion it, shall happily meet, to bear our fortunes in our own strong arms, which now we hold of much uncertainty.
Farewell, good brother. We shall thrive, I trust.
Uncle, adieu. And let the time be short till fields and blows and groans applaud our sport, huh?
Lie down, lay thine ear close to the ground, and list if thou canst hear the tread of travelers.
Have you any levers to lift me up again, being down?
Oh, what news? Case you, on with your wizards. There is money of the king's coming down the hill. 'Tis going to the king's exchequer.
You lie, you rogue! 'Tis going to the king's tavern.
It is enough to make us all.
To be hanged!
Oh, now, sirs, you will front them in the narrow path. Ned Poins and I will walk low. If they escaped from your encounter, then they light on us.
How many is there of them?
Some 8 or 10.
Zounds, will they not rob us?
What a coward, Sir John Pond.
Ah, indeed, no John of Gaunt, your grandfather, but yet no coward Hal.
Well, we'll leave that to the proof. Ned, where are disguises?
Here, hard by. Stand close.
Hear you, my masters. Happy man be his dole, and every man to his business, say I.
Come, brother. The boy shall get the horses down the hill. We'll walk afoot a while and ease our legs.
Stand!
Oh, Jesus bless us!
Strike! Down with them! Cut the villains' throats! Down with them! Fleece them!
Oh, we are undone!
Both we and us forever!
Ah! Oh, come, my masters, let us share, and then to horse by day. And the prince and coins be not two arrant cowards. There's no equity stirring. There is no more valor in that coins than in a wild duck.
Your money!
Villains!
The thieves are all scattered and possessed with fear so strongly they dare not meet each other. Oh, away, sweet Ned. Falstaff sweats to death. Were it not for laughing, I should pity him.
How the poor rogue boy!
Purpose you undertake is dangerous. The friends you have named uncertain. The time itself uncertain in your whole plot to light for the counterploys of so rich an opposition. Say so. Say you so. I say unto you, you are a shallow, cowardly hind, and you lie. What a lack brain is this? Why, our plot is as good a plot as ever was laid. Our friends, true and constant. Good plot. Good friends, full of expectation. Excellent plot. Very good friends. Why, what a frosty, spirited rogue is this? Does not my Lord of York commend the plot and the whole general course of the action? What? Why, if I were with this rascal now, I would brain him with his lady's fan. Is there not my father, and my uncle, and myself, Lord Edwin Mortimer, my Lord of York, and Owen Glendower? Is there not besides the Douglas? Do I not have their letters to meet me in arms in the 9th of the next month, and have some of them not set forth already? What a pagan rascal is this, huh? An infidel! You should see now, in the very sincerity of fear and cold heart, will he to the king and lay open all of our purposes? Well, I could divide myself and go to buffets for moving such a dish of skim milk with so honorable an action. Hang him. Let him tell the king. We are prepared. We'll set forward tonight, huh? Well, how now, Kate? Must leave you within these 2 hours.
Oh, my good Lord, why are you thus alone? For what offense have I this fortnight been a banished woman from my Harry's bed? Tell me, sweet Lord, what is it that takes from thee thy stomach, pleasure, and thy golden sleep? Why dost thou bend thy eye upon the earth, and start so often when thou sitst alone? Why hast thou lost the fresh blood in thy cheeks, and given my treasures and my rights to thee, to thick-eyed musings and cursed melancholy? In thy faint slumbers I by thee have watched, and heard thee murmur tales of iron wars. Speak terms of manage to thy bounding steed, cry courage to the field. And thou hast talked of sallies and retires, trenches, tents, of parapets, basilisks, cannon, culverin, of prisoners ransomed and soldiers slain, and all the currents of the heady fight. Thy spirit within thee hath been so at war, and thus hath so bestirred thee in thy sleep, that beads of sweat have stood upon thy brow like bubbles in a late disturbed stream, and in thy face strange motions have appeared, such as we see when men restrain their breath on some great sudden pest. What portents are these? Some heavy business hath my lord at hand, and I must know it, else he loves me not. But hear you, my lord.
What is't you say, my lady?
What is it carries you away?
Why, my horse, my love, my horse.
Oh, you mad-headed ape! A weasel hath not such a deal of spleen as you were tossed with. In faith, I'll know your business, Harry, that I will. I fear my brother Mortimer doth stir about his title, and hath sent for you to line his enterprise, but if you go...
So far afoot I shall be weary, love.
Come, you parakeeto, and answer me directly into this question that I ask. I'll break thy little finger, Harry, and if thou wilt not answer all things true...
Away! Trifler! Love? I love thee not. I cannot for thee, Kate. This isn't no world to play with mammoths and tilt with lips. We must have bloody noses and cracked crowns and pass them current too. Gods me, my horse! What sayest thou? What wouldst thou have with me?
Do you not love me? Do you not, indeed? Well, then do not, for if you love me not, I will not love myself. Do you not love me? Nay, tell me if you speak in jest or no.
Oh. Wilt thou see me ride? And when I am horseback, I will swear I love thee infinitely. But hark you, Kate, I must not henceforth have you question me, whither I go, or whereabouts. Whither I must. And to conclude, tonight must I leave thee, gentle Kate. Better be wise. Constant thou art, and for secrecy no lady closer, for I well believe thou wilt not utter what thou dost not know. This far will I trust thee.
How? So far.
Not an inch further. But hark you, Kate, whither I go, thither shall you go too. Today will I set forth, tomorrow you. Will this content you, Kate?
It must, of course.
Sirrah, Falstaff and the rest of the thieves are at the door. Shall we be married?
As merry as crickets, my lad. Welcome, Jack. Where hast thou been?
A plague of all cowards, say I, and a vengeance too, merry and amen. Give me a cup of sack.
How now, Woolsack, what say you?
A king's son. If I do not beat thee out of thy kingdom with a dagger of lath, and drive all thy subjects afore thee like a flock of wild geese, I'll never wear hair on my face more, you Prince of Wales.
Why, thou whoreson-round man, what's the matter?
Are not you a coward? Answer me to that, and point then!
Zounds, you call me coward? I'll stab you.
I call thee coward? I'll see thee damned ere I call thee coward. But I would give £1,000 I could run as fast as thou canst! You are straight enough in the shoulders, you care not who sees your back. Call you that backing of your friends, a plague upon such backings. Give me them that will face me. Give me a cup of sack. I am a rogue if I have drunk today.
Oh, villain, thy lips are scarce wiped since thou drunkest last.
All's one for that, Hal. Plague of all cowards, still say I.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? There be 3 of us here today have ta'en £1,000 this morning.
Oh, where is it, Jack? Where is it?
Where is it? Taken from us it is! 100 set upon poor 3 of us!
What? 100 men!
I am a rogue if I was not at half sword with 12 of them 2 hours together. I have escaped by miracle! Plague of all cowards! No, let them speak. If they speak more or less than truth, then they are villains and the sons of darkness.
Speak, sirs, how was it?
Well, we 3 set upon some dozen.
16 at least, my lord.
As we were setting on, some 6 or 7 fresh men set upon us.
But fought you with them all?
Oh, I know not what you call all, but if I fought not with 50 of them, then I am a bunch of radish. If there were not 2 or 3 and 50 set upon poor old Jack, then I am no two-legged creature.
Pray God you have not murdered some of them.
Nay, that is past praying for. I have peppered 2 of them. 2, I am sure I have paid. 2 rogues in buckram suits. I tell thee what, Hal. If I tell thee a lie, spit in my face, call me horse. 4 rogues in buckram that driveth me.
4. Thou says but 2 even now.
4, Hal. I told thee 4.
I said 4.
These 4 came all up front, mainly thrusting at me. I made no more ado, but took all their 7 points in my target thus.
7? There were but 4 even now.
In buckram?
4 in buckram suits.
7 by these hilts, or I am a villain else.
Prithee, let him alone. We shall have more anon.
Hal, dost thou hear me?
Aye, and mark thee too, Jack.
Will do so, for it is worth the listening to. These 9 in buckram that I told thee of.
2 more already.
Their points being broken,
Down fell their hose.
began to give me ground. I followed me close, with hand and foot, and then with a thought, 7 of the 11 I paid!
Oh, monstrous! 11 buckram men grown out of 2.
Then, as the devil would have it, 3 misbegotten knaves in Kendall green came at my back and let drive at me. For Hal, it was so dark, thou couldst not see thy hand.
These lies are like their father that begets them, gross as a mountain, open palpable. Why, thou clay-brained guts, thou naughty-pated fool, thou whoreson obscene, greasy tallow-cat.
What, art thou mad? Art thou mad? Is not the truth the truth?
How couldst thou know these men in Kendall green, when it was so dark thou couldst not see thy hand in front of thy face? Come, tell us your reason. What sayest thou to this?
Come, your reason, Jack. Your reason.
Give a reason on compulsion? If reasons were as plentiful as blackberries, I would give no man a reason on compulsion.
I'll no longer be guilty of this sin, this sanguine cowardice.
You stockfish! You elf-skin, you dried neat-tongue, you bull's pizzle, you starveling, you... Oh, for breath to strike you what I was like!
Well, breathe a while, and then to it again. And when thou hast tired thyself in base comparisons, hear me speak but this.
Mark, Jack.
We 2 saw you 3 set on 2 and were masters of their wealth. Mark you now how a plain tale shall put you down. Then we 2 set on you 3 and with a single word outfaced you from your prize and have it, yea, and can show it you here in the house. Oh, and Falstaff, you carried your guts away as nimbly with as quick dexterity and roared for mercy and still run and roared as ever I heard bullcalf. Oh, what trick, what device, what starting hole canst thou now think of to hide thee from this open and apparent shame?
Come, Jack. What trick hast thou now?
Oh, I knew thee as well as he that made me. Why, here, you masters. Was it for me to kill the heir apparent? Should I turn on the true prince? But by the Lord, lad, I am glad thou hast the money. Hostess, clap to the doors! Gallants, lads, boys, hearts of gold, all titles of good fellowship come to you. What? Shall we be merry?
Content, and the argument shall be thy running away.
Oh, no more of that, Hal, and thou lovest me.
O Jesu, my lord the prince.
How now, my lady the hostess, what sayest thou to me?
Marry, my lord, there's a nobleman of the court at door would speak with you. He says he comes from your father.
Well, give him as much as will make him a royal man, and then send him back again to my mother.
What manner of man is he?
An old man.
Shall I give him his answer?
Prithee do, Jack.
Faith, I'll send him packing.
Now, sirs, you fought fairly, and so did you, Bardolph. You ran away upon instinct. You would not touch the true prince. Never fought.
Faith, I ran when I saw others run.
Faith, tell me now in earnest, how came Falstaff's sword so hacked?
Why, he hacked it with his own dagger, and he would swear the truth out of England and convince you it was done in a fight and persuaded us to do the like.
Yea, and to tickle our noses with spear grass, to make them bleed, and then to beslubber our garments with it, and swear it was the blood of true men. I did that I did not these 7 years before. I blush to hear his monstrous devices.
Here comes Lean Jack, here comes Barebones.
There's monstrous news abroad. Here was Sir John Bracy from your father. You must to the court in the morning. That same mad fellow of the North, Percy, and he of Wales. He gave Ammerman the bastinado, what the plague you call him.
Owen Glendower.
Owen the same, and his son-in-law, Mortimer, and old Northumberland, and that sprightly Scot of Scots, the Douglas, is there too. And one more Dake, and 1,000 blue caps else. Your father's beard is white with the news. Worcester is stolen away tonight. Tell me, Hal, are not thou horrible afeard? As the heir apparent, could the world pick thee out 3 such enemies again as that fiend Douglas, that spirit Percy, and that devil Glendower? But are you not horribly afraid? Doth not thy blood thrill at it?
Not a whit in fear.
Well, thou wilt be horribly chid when thou comest to thy father. If thou love me, practice an answer.
Oh, dost thou stand for my father and examine me upon the particulars of my life?
Shall I? Content. Ooh. This chair shall be my state.
Well, thy state is taken for a joined stool.
Stand aside, nobility.
Oh, Jesu, this is excellent sport of faith.
Weep not, sweet queen, for trickling tears are vain.
Oh, behold his countenance.
For God's sake, lords, someone convey my tristful queen away, for tears do stop the floodgates of her eyes.
Oh, Jesu, he doth it as like one of these harlotry players as ever I've seen.
Peace, good pint pot. Harry, I not only marvel where thou spend'st thy time, but how thou art accompanied. For though the chamomile, the more it is trodden on, the faster it grows. So youth, the more it is wasted, the sooner it wears. That thou art my son, I have partly thy mother's word, partly mine own opinion, but chiefly a villainous trick of thine eye and a foolish hanging of thy nether lip that doth merit me. If then thou be son to me, here lies the point. Shall the son of England be a thief and take purses? A question to be asked. But Harry, now I do not speak to thee in drink, but in tears, not in pleasure, but in passion, not in words only, but in woes also. And yet, there is a virtuous man I have often noted in thy company, but I know not his name.
What manner of man, and it please your majesty?
Oh, a goodly, portly man, he may. Of cheerful look, a pleasing eye, and most noble carriage. His age, I think, some 50. Or by your lady inclining some 60. And now I remember me, his name is Falstaff. If that man be lewdly given, he deceiveth me, for Harry, I see virtue in his looks. If then the tree may be known by the fruit as the fruit by the tree, then peremptorily I speak it. There is virtue in that Falstaff. Him keep with, the rest banish. Now tell me then, thou naughty varlet, tell me where thou hast been this month.
Dost thou speak like a king? Oh, here, stand in for me, and I'll play my father.
Depose me? If thou dost it half so greatly, so majestically, both in word and matter, hang me up for a rabbit sucker or a poulter's hair.
Well, here I am set.
And here stand I, judge, masters.
Now, Harry, whence come you?
My noble lord from East
The complaints I hear against thee are grievous.
Blood, my lord, they are false.
Swearest thou, ungracious boy, henceforth ne'er look on me. Thou art violently carried away from grace. The devil haunts thee in the likeness of an old man. A ton of man is thy content. Why dost thou converse with that trunk of humors, that bolting hutch of beastliness, that bombard of sack, that father ruffian, that vanity in years, that grey iniquity, that reverend vice? Wherein is he good? but to taste sack and drink it. Wherein neat and cleanly, but to carve a capon and eat it. Wherein cunning, but in craft. Wherein crafty, but in villainy. Wherein villainous, but in all things. Wherein worthy, but in nothing.
I would your grace would take me with you. Whom means your grace?
Why, thou villainous, abominable misleader of youth, Falstaff. Oh, that old white-bearded Satan.
My lord, I know the man.
I know thou dost.
But to say I know more harm in him than in myself is to speak what I do not know. That he is old, the more's the pity. His white hairs do witness it. But that he is, saving your reverence, a whoremaster, that I utterly deny. If sack and sugar be a fault, God help the wicked. If to be old and to be merry be a sin, then many an old host I know to be damned. No, no, my good lord. Banish Pato, banish Bardolph, banish Poins, but the sweet Jack Falstaff. Kind Jack Falstaff. True Jack Falstaff. Valiant Jack Falstaff. And more valiant, being as he is, old Jack Falstaff. Banish not him thy Harry's company. Banish not him thy Harry's company. Banish plump Jack. Banish all the world.
I do. I will.
Oh, my lord. My lord, the sheriff with the most monstrous watch is at the door.
Out, you rogue! Play on the play. I have much to say on behalf of that Falstaff.
Oh, Jesu, my lord, my lord.
Hi, the devil rides upon a fiddlestick. What's the matter?
The sheriff and all the watches at the door, they've come to search the house. Shall I let them in?
You hear, Hal? Never call a true piece of gold a counterfeit. Thou art essentially made without seeming so.
Go hide thee behind the arras, right? The rest walk above. Now, my lord, for true face and good conscience.
Both I have had, but they are out of date, so I will hide them.
I'll pay back the money with advantage. I'll to the court in the morning. Oh, be with me betimes in the morning.
Glendower's promises are fair, the party sure, and our induction full of prosperous hope.
I do not care. Shall we be gone?
In faith, my lord, you are too wilful blame. You must needs learn, Lord, to amend this fault. Though sometimes it showed greatness, courage, blood, and that's the dearest grace it renders you, yet oftentimes it doth present harsh rage, defect of manners, want of government, pride, haughtiness, opinion, and disdain, loseth men's hearts, and leaves behind a stain.
Lion school. Good manners be your speed. Thank you, uncle. Shall we take our leave?
The moon shines fair, you may away by night. Break with your wife of your departure hence.
Come. Kate. Thou art perfect in lying down. Come. Quick, quick, that I may lay my head in thy lap.
Oh, you giddy goose, wouldst thou have thy head broken?
No.
Then be still.
Come, Kate. You have your song.
Not mine, in good
Not
sooth.
yours in good sooth. Oh. Heart, you swear like a comfort maker's wife. Not yours in good sooth, and as true as I live, and as sure as day, and as God shall mend me. Swear me, Kate, like a lady, as thou art, a good mouth-filling oath. Come, sing.
I will not sing.
And the indentures be drawn, I'll leave you within these 2 hours. Come in when you wilt.
I know not if God will have it for some displeasing service I have done, that he in his secret doom out of my blood has crafted revengement and a scourge on me. But thou dost, in thy passages through life, make me believe that thou art marked only for hot vengeance, and the rod of heaven to punish my mistreadings. Tell me else how such inordinate and low desire, such poor, such bare, such lewd, such mean attempt, such barren pleasures, and vile company as thou art matched withal and grafted to, could accompany the greatness of thy blood, and match the level of thy princely heart.
So please your majesty, I would I could quit all offences with as clear excuse, as well as I am doubtless, I can purge myself of many I am charged with all. Yet such extenuation let me beg as, in reproof of many tales devised, which oft the ear of greatness needs must hear by smiling pick-fakes and base newsmongers. I may, for some things true, wherein my youth hath faulty wandered and irregular, find pardon in my true submission.
God pardon thee. And yet let me wonder, Harry, at thy affections, which do hold a wing quite from the flight of thy ancestors. Thy seat in council thou hast rudely lost, which by your younger brother is supplied, and art almost an alien to all the hearts of court and princes of my name. The hope and expectation of thy time is ruined, and every man's soul prophetically do foreknow thy downfall. Had I, as lavish with my presence been, so common hackneyed in the eyes of men, so stale, so cheap in vulgar company, opinion that did help me to the crown had kept loyal to possession, and left me in reputeless banishment, a fellow of no mark nor likelihood. But I did pluck allegiance from men's hearts, loud shouts and salutations from their mouths, even in the presence of the crowned king. The skipping king, he ambled up and down with shallow gestures and rash babbin wits, soon kindled and soon burnt, carded his kingdom, mingled his royalty with capering fools, had his great name profaned by their scorn, and gave his countenance against his name. And in that line, Harry, standest thou, for thou hast lost thy princely privilege through vile participation, and not an eye but is aweary of thy common sight, save mine, which doth desire to see thee more, and now does what I would not have it do, and blinds myself with foolish tenderness.
I shall hereafter, my thrice gracious lord, be more myself.
For all the world, Harry, as thou art to this hour, was Richard, when I from France set foot at Ravensburg, and as I was then, as Percy now. By my scepter, my soul to boot, he hath more worthy interests in this state than dost thou, the very shadow of succession. He fills fields with harness in the realms, turns head against the lion's armed jaws, and though he owes no more debt to years than thou, leads ancient lords and reverend bishops to bloody battles and bruising arms. Thrice hath this young Hotspur, this Mars in swaddling cloths, this infant warrior, in his endeavors discomfited great Douglas, taken him once, enlarged him, and made a friend of him to threaten the very safety of our throne. What say ye to this? Percy, Northumberland, the Archbishop's Grace of York, Douglas, Mortimer, all capitulate against us and are up. But wherefore do I tell thee news of these? Why, Harry, do I tell thee of my foes, which art my nearest and dearest enemy, one who is like, through vassal fear, the start of spleen, to fight against me at Hotspur's pay, to dog his heels, to curtsy at his frowns, to show how much thou art degenerate!
Do not think so! You shall not find it so, and God forgive them that have so much swayed your majesty's good thoughts away from me. I will redeem all this on Percy's head, and in the closing of some glorious day be bold to tell you I am your son. And that shall be the day when ere it lights this same child of honor and renown, this gallant Hotspur, this all-praised knight, and your unthought of Harry chance to meet. This in the name of God I promise here, the which if he be pleased I shall perform. I beseech your majesty may salve the long-grown wounds of my intemperance. And if not, the end of life cancels all bans, and I would die 100,000 deaths ere break the smallest parcel of this vow.
100,000 rebels die in this. Thou shalt have charge and sovereign trust herein. How now, my good Blunt? Thy looks are full of speed.
So hath the business that I come to speak of. Lord Mortimer of Scotland hath sent word. The Douglas and the English rebels met the 11th of this month at Shrewsbury. A mighty and a fearful head they are, if promises be kept on every hand, as ever offered foul play in the state.
The Earl of Westmoreland this morning hath left, and with him my son, Lord John of Lancaster. Our hands are full of business, let's away. Advantage feeds him fat while men delay.
Father, have I not fallen away vilely since this last action? Do I not fade? Do I not dwindle? Company, villainous company hath been the spoil of me.
Sir John, you are so fretful you could not live long.
Why, there it is. Come, sing me a bawdy song, make me merry. I was as virtuously given as a gentleman need to be. Virtuous enough, swore little, diced not above 7 times a week, went to a bawdy house not above once in a quarter of an hour, paid back money that I borrowed 3 or 4 times. How now, Dame Partlet the hen? Have you inquired yet who picked my pocket?
Why, Sir John, what do you think, Sir John? Do you think I keep thieves in my house? I have searched, I have inquired, so has my husband. Man by man, boy by boy, servant by servant. The tithe of a hair was never lost in my house before.
You lie, hostess.
Who, I? Go to. God's light, I was never called so in my own house before.
Go to, I know you well enough.
You owe me money, Sir John, and now you pick a quarrel to beguile me of it. You owe me money, Sir John, for your diet and your by-drinkings, and money lent to you £4.20.
He had his part of it, let him pay.
He? Alas, he is poor. He hath nothing.
How poor? I'll not pay a denier. Shall I not take mine ease in mine inn, but I shall have my pocket picked? I have lost a seal ring of my grandfather's worth 40 marks.
Oh, Jesu, I have heard the prince say, I know not how oft, that that ring was copper.
How? The prince is a jack, a sneak-up, blood, and he were here, I'd cudgel him like a dog if he should say so. How? Is the wind in that dory, Faith? Must we all march?
Yea, 2 and 2, Newgate fashion. My lord, pray me, hear me.
What sayest thou, mistress, quickly? How doth thy husband? I love him well, he is an honest man.
Good my lord, hear me.
Prithee, let them be and list to me.
What sayest thou, Jack?
The other night, I fell asleep here behind the arras and had my pocket picked. This house has turned bawdy house. They pickpocket.
What didst thou lose, Jack?
Wilt thou believe me, Hal? 3 or 4 bonds of £40 apiece, and a seal ring of my grandfather.
A trifle, some 8-penny men.
So I told him, my lord, and I said I heard your grace say so. And, my lord, he speaks most vilely of you, like a foul-mouthed man, as he is, and said he would cudgel you.
What? He did not.
There's neither faith, truth, nor womanhood in me else.
There's no more faith in thee than in a stewed prune. No more truth in thee than in a drawn fox, and for womanhood, why, Maid Marian may be the deputy's wife of the ward to thee. Go, you thing, go.
Say, what thing, what thing?
What thing? Why, a thing to thank God on.
I have no thing to thank God on, and I wouldst that thou should know it. I am an honest man's wife, and setting thy knighthood aside, thou art a knave to call me so.
Setting thy womanhood aside, thou art a beast to say otherwise.
Say, what beast, thou knave, thou?
What beast? Why, an otter.
Thou art an unjust man to call me so.
Thou sayest true, and and he slanders thee most gross.
So he doth you as well, my lord, and said just this other day that you owe him 1,000 pounds.
Sirrah, do I owe you 1,000 pounds?
1,000 pounds, Hal? 1,000,000. Thy love is worth 1,000,000. Thou owest me thy love.
Nay, my lord, he called you Jack and said he would cudgel you.
Why, did I, Bardolph?
Oh, indeed, Sir John, you said so.
Yea, if he said my ring was copper.
I say 'tis copper. Darest thou be as good as thy word now?
Thou knowest as thou art, but man, I dare. As thou art prince, I fear thee as I fear the roaring of the lion's whelp.
And why not as the lion?
The king himself is to be feared as the lion. Dost thou think I shall fear thee as I fear thy father?
By the horse on impudent embossed rascal! If there were anything in thy pocket but tavern reckonings, memorandums of bawdy houses, and one poor pennyworth of sugar candy to make thee long-winded. Oh, if thy pocket were enriched with any other injury but these, I am a villain. And yet you will stand to it? You will not pocket up wrong? Art thou not ashamed?
Hostess, I forgive thee. Go, make ready the breakfast, love thy husband, look to thy servants, cherish thy guests. Thou shalt find me tractable to any honest reason. Thou seest I am pacified still. Nay, prithee be gone. Now how, to the news at court. For the robbery, lad, how is that answer?
Oh, my sweet beef, I must still be good angel to thee. I have paid the money back again.
Oh, I do not like that paying back. 'Tis a double labor.
I'm good friends with my father and may do anything. I've procured for thee, Jack, a charge of foot.
Oh, I would have been of horse.
Bardolph, my lord, take this letter to the Lord John of Lancaster, to my brother John, and this to my lord of Westmoreland.
Yes, my lord.
Go, Pato, to horse, for thou and I have 30 miles to ride yet ere dinner time. Jack, meet me tomorrow at the Temple Hall at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There shalt thou know thy charge, and there receive money and order for its furniture. The land is burning. Percy stands on high. Neither we or they must lower lie.
Rare words, brave world. Hostess, my breakfast come! Oh, I could wish this tavern were my drum.
Well said, my noble Scot. In speaking truth, in this fine age, were not thought flattery, such attribution should the Douglas have, as not a soldier of this season's stamp should go so general current through the world. My God, I cannot flatter. I defy the tongues of soothers, but a braver place in my heart's love hath no man than yourself. Nay, pass me my word. Approve me, Lord.
Thou art the king of honor. No man so potent breathes upon the ground, but I will beard him.
Do so. It is well. What letters hast thou there?
These letters come from your father.
Letters from him. What comes he not himself?
He cannot come, my lord. His grief is sick.
Zounds! How has he the leisure to be sick in such a jostling time? Who leads his power? Under whose government come they along?
Whose letters bear in his mind? Not I, my lord.
I prithee tell me, doth he keep his bed?
He did, my lord. 4 days ere I set forth, and at the time of my departure, he was much feared by his physicians.
I would the state of time had first been whole, by sickness had been visited. His health was never better worth than now.
Sick now. Droop now. This sickness doth infect the very lifeblood of our enterprise. But 'tis catching hither, even to our camp. He writes me here that inward sickness, and that his friends by deputation could not so soon be drawn. Nor did he think it meet to lay so dangerous and so dear a trust on any soul but his own. Or yet he gives us bold advertisement that with our small conjunction we should on to see how fortune is disposed of us. For as he writes, there's no quailing now, for the king is certainly possessed of all of our purposes. What say you to it?
Your father's sickness is a maid to us.
A perilous gash, a very limb lopped off. And yet, in faith, it is not. His present want shall see more than we shall find it. Were it good to set the exact wealth of all our state all in one cast, to set so rich a mean on the nice hazard of a doubtful hour. It were not good, for therein should we read the very bottom and soul of hope, the very list, the utmost bound of all of our fortunes.
In faith, so we should, where now remains a sweet reversion. We may boldly spend upon the hope of what is to come in. A comforter retirement lives in this.
A rendezvous, a home to fly unto, if that death and mischance look big on the maidenhead of our affairs.
But yet I would your father had been here. The quality and hair of our attempt brooks no division. It will be thought by some that think not why he is away, that wisdom, loyalty, and mere dislike of our proceedings kept the Earl from hence. And think how such an apprehension may turn the tide of fearful faction, and breed a kind of question in our cause. This absence of your father's draws a curtain that shows the ignorant a kind of fear before not dreamt of.
You strain too far. I rather of his absence make this use. It lends a luster and more great opinion, a larger dare to our great enterprise. For men must think if we, without his help, can push against the kingdom, with his help, we shall o'erturn it topsy-turvy down. Yet our state is well, yet all our joints are whole.
As heart can think, there's no such a term spoke of in Scotland as this word of fear.
My cousin Vernon, welcome.
Pray God, my news be worth the welcome, Lord. The Earl of Westmoreland 7,000 strong marches hitherward, with them Prince John.
No harm. What more?
Further, I've learned the king himself in person is set forth, or hitherward intended speedily with strong and mighty preparation.
He shall be welcome too. What of his son, that nimble-footed madcap Prince of Wales, and his comrades who daft the world aside and bid it pass?
All furnished, all in arms, wanton as youthful goats, wild as young bulls. I saw young Harry with his beaver on, cuisses on his thighs, gallantly armed, rise from the ground like feathered Mercury, and bolted with such ease into his seat as if an angel had just dropped down from the clouds to turn and wind a fiery Pegasus, to which the world with noble horsemanship.
No more! No more! Worse than the sun in March, this plague doth nourish agues. Let them come. They come like sacrifices in their trim. Into the fire-eyed god of smoky war, all hot and bleeding, shall we offer them. The mailed Mars shall on his altar sit up to his ears in blood. I am on fire when I hear such a rich reprisal is so nigh and yet not ours. Come, let me taste my horse. So bear me like a thunderbolt against the Prince of Wales. Harry to Harry shall, hot horse to horse, meet, and ne'er part till one drop down a course. The dower will come.
There's more news. I learned in Worcester as I rode along, he cannot draw his power this 14 days.
That's the worst tiding I hear of yet. I, by my faith, that bears a frosty sound.
What may the king's whole battle reach unto?
30,000.
40. Let it be. My father and Glendower being away, the powers of us shall serve so fair a day. Come, let's take a muster speedily. Doomsday is near. Die all, die merrily.
Talk not of dying. I am out of fear of death or death's hand this 1/2 year.
Bardolph, get you before to Coventry. Bid my Lieutenant Pato meet me at town's end.
I will, Captain. Farewell.
How now, Lone Jack?
What, how? How now, mad wag? What the devil dost thou in Warwickshire? My good lord of Westmoreland, I cry you mercy. But I thought your honour had already been at Shrewsbury.
Sir John, 'tis more than time that I were there. And you too. But my powers are there already. The king, I can tell you, looks for us all. We must away all night.
Tut, Never fear me. I'm as vigilant as a cat to steal cream.
I think to steal cream indeed, for thy theft hath already made thee butter. But, sirrah, make haste. Percy is already in the field.
What, is the king encamped?
Yes, Sir John. Fear we shall wait too long.
We'll fight with him tonight. Good cousin, be advised, stir not tonight.
So, my lord.
You do not counsel well. You speak it out of fear and cold heart.
The number of the king exceedeth ours. For God's sake, cousin, stay till all come in.
I come with gracious offers from the king, if you vouchsafe me hearing and respect.
Welcome, Sir Walter Blunt. Would to God you of our determination. Some of us love you well, and even though some envy your great deservings and good name, because you are not of our quality, but stand against us like an enemy.
And God defend, but still I should stand so. So long of out of limit and true rule, you stand against anointed majesty. But to my charge, the king hath sent to know the nature of your griefs, and whereupon you conjure from the breast of civil peace such bold hostility, teaching his duteous land audacious cruelty. If that the king have any way your good deserts forgot, which he confesseth to be manifold, he bids you name your griefs, and with all speed you shall have your desires, with interest and pardon absolute, for yourself and these herein misled by your suggestion.
King is kind. And well we know the king knows at what time to promise, when to pay. My father and my uncle and myself did give him that royalty he now wears, when he was not 26 strong, sick in the world's regard, wretched and low, a poor, unminded outlaw, sneaking home. My father gave him welcome to the shore. And when we heard him swear and vow to God, he came but to be Duke of Lancaster, to sue his livery and beg his peace, with tears of innocency and terms of zeal, my father, in kind heart and pity moved, promised him assistance, and performed it too. Now when the lords and barons of the realm perceived Northumberland did lean to him, well then the more and less came in with cap and knee.
Tut, I came not to hear this.
Well then, to my point. Short time after he deposed the king. Soon after that, deprived him of his life. And in the neck of all that, tasked the whole state. To make that worse, suffered his kinsman March, who if all owners were well placed, were indeed his king, to be engaged in Wales. There, without ransom till I forfeited, disgraced me in my happy victories, sought to entrap me by intelligence, raided mine uncle from the council board, in rage, dismissed my father from the court, broke oath on oath, committed wrong on wrong, and to conclude, drove us to seek out this head of safety, and withal to pry into his title, which we find too indirect for long continuance.
Shall I return this answer to the king?
Not so, Sir Walter. We'll withdraw a while. Go you to the king. Let there be in pawn some surety for a safe return again, and in the morning early shall my uncle deliver him our purposes. So farewell.
I would you would accept of grace and love.
Maybe so we shall.
Pray God you do.
How bloodily the sun doth look above yon bulky hill. How now, my lord of Worcester? It is not well that you and I should meet upon such terms as now we meet. You've deceived our trust, made us doff our easy robes of peace, and crush our old limbs into ungentle steel. It is not well, my lord, it is not well. What say you to it? Will you again unknit this churlish knot of all abhorred war?
Hear me, my liege. For mine own part, I could be well content to entertain the lag end of my life with quiet hours. For I protest, I have not sought the day of this dislike.
You have not sought it.
How came it then? It pleased your majesty to turn your looks of favour from myself and all our house. And yet I must remember you, my lord, we were the first and dearest of your friends. For you, my staff of office did I break. It was myself, my brother, and his son who brought you home, and boldly did outdare the dangers of the time. You swore to us that you did nothing purpose against the state, nor claim no further than your new fallen right, the seat of Gaunt, Dukedom of Lancaster. To this we swore our aid. But in short space it rained down fortune showering on your head, and such a flood of greatness fell on you, what with our help, what with the absent king, what with the injuries of a wanton time, the searing sufferances that you had borne, and the contrarious winds that held the king so long in his unlucky Irish wars that all in England did repute him dead. And from this swarm of fair advantages, you took occasion to be quickly wooed, and being fed by us, you used us so, grew by our feeding to so great a bulk that even our love does not come near your sight. We were enforced, for safety's sake, to fly out of your sight and raise this present head, whereby we stand opposed by such means as you yourself have forged against yourself, by unkind usage, dangerous countenance, and violation of all faith and troth sworn to us in your younger enterprise.
These things indeed you have articulate, and yet never did insurrection want such watercolors toward pagan cause.
In both your armies there is many a soul shall pay full dearly for this encounter if once they join in trial. Tell your nephew, the Prince of Wales doth join with all the world in praise of Henry Percy. By my hopes, this present encounter set on his head, I did not think a braver gentleman, more active valiant, or valiant young, more daring, or more bold, is now alive to grace this latter age with noble deeds. For my part, I may speak it to my shame, I may truant be into chivalry, so I hear he doth account me too. But this before my father's majesty, I am content that he will take the odds of his great name in estimation, and will to stop the blood on either side, try his fortunes with him in a single fight.
And, Prince of Wales, so dare we venture thee, albeit considerations infinite do make against it. No, good Worcester, no. We love all our people, even those we love that are misled upon your cousin's part. And will they accept the offer of our grace, then both he and they, and you, yea, every man shall be our friend again and will be his. Tell your cousin this, and bring us what he will do. We offer fair, take it advisedly.
It will not be accepted by my life. The Hotspur and the Douglas both together are confident against the world in arms.
Then every leader to his charge, for on their answer shall we set on them. And God be our friend, since our cause is just.
Say thy prayers and farewell.
I wish 'twere bedtime, Hal, and all well.
Why, thou owest God a death.
Can honor set to a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Oh, take away the grief
of a wound. No. Honor hath no skill in surgery, then? No. What is honor? A word. What is in that word honor? What is that honor? Air. A trim reckoner. Who hath it? He that died a Wednesday. Doth he hear it? No. Doth he feel it? No. 'Tis insensible to the dead.
Oh no! My nephew must not know Sir Richard the liberal and kind offer of the king.
'Twere best he did.
Then are we all undone. It is not possible. It cannot be. The king should keep his word in loving us. He will suspect us still and find a time to punish this offence in other faults. Look how we can, or sad or merrily, interpretation will misquote our looks. My nephew's trespass may be well forgot. He had the excuse of youth and heat of blood, and an adopted name of privilege, a harebrained hotspur governed by a spleen. But all his offences live upon my head, and on his father's we did train him on, and his corruption being ta'en from us, we, as the spring of all, shall pay for all. Therefore, good cousin, let not Harry know, in this case, the offer of the king.
Say what you will, and I'll say 'tis so. Here comes your cousin.
My uncle has returned. What news?
The king will bid you battle presently.
Defy him by the Lord of Westmoreland. Lord Douglas, though you do so.
Marry, and shall, and very willingly.
There is no seeming mercy in the king.
To beg any, God forbid.
I told him gently of our grievances, of his oath-breaking, which he mended thus by now forswearing that he is forsworn. He calls us rebels, traitors, and will scourge with haughty arms this hateful name in us.
Arms, gentlemen, to arms riot on a brave defiance in King Henry's teeth, and Westmoreland that was engaged did bear it, which cannot choose but bring him quickly on.
The Prince of Wales stepped forth before the king, and nephew challenged you to single fight.
Oh, would the fight lay upon our heads, and that no man might draw short breath today but I and Harry Monmouth. Gentlemen, the time of life is short. To spend that shortness basely were too long. If life did ride upon a dial's point, still ending even at the arrival of an hour. If we are to live, we live to tread on kings. If die, brave death, when princes die with us. My lord, the king comes on apace. Let each man do his best. Here I draw a sword, whose temper I intend to stain with the best blood that I can meet withal in the adventure of this perilous day. Sound all the lofty instruments of war, and to that music let us all embrace. From heaven to earth, some of us the second time, never shall do such a courtesy.
What is thy name, that in the battle thus thou crossest me? What honour dost thou seek upon my head?
Know that I am the Douglas, and I do haunt thee in the battle thus because some tell me that thou art a king.
They tell thee true.
The Lord of Stafford, dear today, hath bought thy likeness. For instead of thee, King Harry, this sword hath ended him. So shall it be unless thou yield thee as my prisoner.
I was not born a yielder, thou proud Scot. And thou shalt find a king that will revenge Lord Stafford's death.
Yeah!
Hadst thou at Holden fought, I had never triumphed upon a Scot. All's done. All's won. Here, breathless lies the king. Where? Here. This Douglas. No. I know this face full well. A gallant knight he was. His name was Blunt. Semblably furnished like the king himself. A borrowed title thou hast bought too dear. Why didst thou tell me thou wert a king? The king hath many marching in his coats. Now by my sword I will kill all his coats. I'll murder his wardrobe piece by piece until I meet with the king. Up and away, our soldiers stand full fairly for the day.
Prithee, Harry, withdraw thyself. Thou bleeds too much. Lord John of Lancaster, you go with him.
Not I, my lord, unless I do bleed too. I beseech your majesty make up, lest your retirement do amaze your friend.
I will do so. My lord of Westmoreland, lead him to his tent.
Come, my lord, I'll lead you to
Lead me, my lord. I do not need your help. And God forbid a shallow scratch should stop the Prince of Wales from such a field as this, where stained nobility lies trodden on and rebels' arms triumph in massacres.
We do breathe too long. Come, cousin Westmoreland, our duty lies this way. For God's sake, come!
By God, thou hast deceived me, Lancaster. I did not think thee a lord of such spirit. Before I loved thee as a brother, but now I do respect thee as my soul.
I saw him hold Lord Percy at the point with lustier maintenance than I would look for in such an ungrown warrior.
Oh, this boy lends mettle to us all.
Another king! They grow like Hydra's heads. I am the Douglas, fatal to all those that wear those colors on them. What art thou that counterfeits the person of a king?
The king himself, Douglas, who grieves at heart so many of his shadows hast thou found, and not the very king. I have 2 boys, seek Percy and thyself in the field, but since thou fall'st on me so luckily, I will essay thee. Defend thyself.
I fear thou want another counterfeit. And yet in faith thou bearest thee like a king. But mine I am sure thou art whoe'er thou be, and thus I do win thee.
Hold up thy head, vile Scots, or thou art like never to hold it up again. The spirits of valiant Shirley Stafford Blunt are in my arms. This is the Prince of Wales who threatens thee. He never promiseth, but he means to pay. Truly, my lord, how fares your grace?
Thou hast redeemed thy lost opinion, and showed thou makes some tender of my life in this fair rescue thou hast brought me.
They did me too much injury, whoever said I did hearken for your death. If it were so, I might have let the insulting hand of Douglas over you.
Make up to Clifton. I'll to Sir Nicholas Gauzy.
If I mistake not, thou art Harry Monmouth.
Thou sayest as if I would deny my name.
My name's Harry Percy.
Well then, I see a very valiant rebel in the name. I'm the Prince of Wales, and think not Percy to share with me in glory any more. 2 stars keep not their motion in a single sphere, nor can one England brook the double reign of Henry Percy and the Prince of Wales.
Nor shall it, Harry, for the hour has come to end the one of us. And would to God thy name and arms were now as great as mine.
I'll make it greater ere I part from thee, and all the budding honor on thy crest I'll crop to make a garland for my head.
I can no longer brook thy vanities. Harry! Those robbed me of my youth. I better brook will also brittle life. Those proud titles thou hast won of me, they wound my thoughts worse than thy sword in my flesh. The thoughts, slaves of life, and life, time's full, and time, which takes the survey of the world, must have a stop. Oh, I could prophesy, but that the earthy and cold hand of death lies on my tongue. No, Percy, thou art dust, and food.
For worms, brave Percy. Fare thee well, great heart. Ill-weaved ambition, so much art thou shrunk. When this body did contain a spirit, a kingdom for it was too small a bound. But now 2 paces of the vilest earth is room enough. This earth that bears thee dead bears not alive so stout a gentleman. If thou art sensible of courtesy, should not make so much a show of zeal. But let my favors hide thy mangled face. Adieu. Take thy praise with thee to heaven. Thy ignominy sleep with thee in thy grave, but not remembered in thy epitaph. Come, brother John. Full bravely hast thou fleshed thy maiden sword. The trumpet sounds retreat. The day is ours. Come, brother, to the highest of the fields, to see which of our friends are living, and who are dead.
Thus ever did rebellion earn rebuke. Ill-spirited Worcester, did not we send pardons, grace, words of love to all of you? Wouldst thou now turn our offers contrary, misuse the tenor of a kinsman's trust? 3 knights upon our party here are slain. A noble earl, and many a creature else would live this hour, if thou had, like a Christian, truly borne betwixt our armies true intelligence.
What I have done my safety urged me to, and I embrace this fortune patiently, since not to be avoided, it falls on me.
Bear Worcester to his death and burn him too. These other offenders will be paused upon. How goes the field?
That noble Scot the Douglas, when he saw his fortunes turn quickly from him in the field, the noble Percy slain and all his men upon the foot of fear, fled with the rest, and falling down a hill, was so bruised that our pursuers took him. At my tent the Douglas is, and I beseech your majesty I may dispose of him.
With all my heart.
Then, Lord John of Lancaster, to you this honorable bounty shall belong. Go to the Douglas and deliver him up to his pleasures, ransomless and free. For his valor shown against our crest today have taught us to cherish such high deeds, even in the bosom of our adversaries.
I thank your grace for this high courtesy.
Then this remains, that we divide our power. You, son John, and cousin Westmoreland, towards York will bend you with dearest speed, there to meet with Northumberland. And the prelate's group, who as we hear, are busily in arms. Myself, and you, son Harry, will towards Wales, there to fight with Glendower and the Earl of March. Rebellion in this land shall lose its sway beneath the check of such another day. Since our fair business here is done, let us not leave till all our own be won.
Concord, thank you so much for coming out on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon. We are the World's a Stage Players in association with the Concord Players. We thank you so much. This is our 13th summer out here on the lawn in front of the Concord Memorial Library, and we love doing performances here in Concord. This January, we're going to be doing 12th Night, directed by the wonderful Katie Speed. And while we do love putting on these shows and we do offer them for free, there are costs that we incur when putting on the shows. If you have the ability and the means and you are willing to do a small donation, we greatly appreciate it. We have some actors with some bins that you can drop some money off, and there's also a Venmo QR code on the back. Once again, we are the World's a Stage Players. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. We hope you enjoyed.